Linda, I'm a production coordinator for the Ralph Lauren line, and I do a lot of executing and tracking. So when design, brand management come up with a concept, an idea, this is the end product. We oversee and make sure that the factory is executing to what their vision is, making sure it's here on time. We have a lot of time restraints, a lot of time frames to execute in terms of lab dips, making sure they're here on time, making sure fit samples, proto samples are here on time, making sure our market samples are here on time, in time for market. Once that happens, then we go into production. If a garment is picked, then we correlate all of that information. We work with sales on prices. We work with design on the final trim details of the garment, coloration, and make sure that's properly executed in a timely manner with the factories. So I brought a sheet here to kind of emphasize on costing. I think that's one of the most important aspects of what production does is they want to have margin-based products, things that are going to make money, basically. So I brought some handouts for you to look at a garment and how we pay for it, what drives cost. So in this example, you have a tank top. It has several trims on it, and it comes in a variety of colors. So one factor of cost is color. Heather is going to cost more than a white garment or a light colored garment. Then you see all the other items like hang tags. We have to pay for that. We have to pay for poly bags, how items are shipped, whether it's on a hanger, whether it's folded, and how much of the garment we buy. So typically we want to buy a lot of garments, make money. If we don't, then we have to pay surcharges on that. But this is just a great way to see what a garment is in cost. So we always want to maximize cost. Of course we want beautiful garments like this robe over here or this chemise. They cost a lot of money. Those fabrics are very expensive, and if we don't sell enough, then unfortunately we have to make changes to the garment to make them more cost effective. So on a large scale, that's kind of what we do to all these garments. We look at them based on how they are reacting to sales and to our customers and try to make them cost effective not only for us, but for the customer. So Lee, if you want to touch on other aspects of production.
Because we do basically the same thing, and it's just like she was saying that for production, we basically really look at cost and making sure that the garment is delivered on time. That's also most important, to get the garment to our customers in a timely manner. And like Noelle and Kate said, how they always looking for fabrics and new techniques. It's production's job to go in and say we can't afford it.
But they work with us to try and make
But
it,
we
try and
do-
get it to
we
be
do work with
affordable.
them to try to make it affordable, because we do want to give our customer newness and unique items to buy to again to make the brand popular. So
We also deal a lot with logistics. Every customer, Bloomingdale's to BJ's, have different ideas of how they want their garment sent to them, how they're going to present it to the customer. So we always have to, we spend a lot of time corresponding overseas. I think that's our biggest part of our job, is corresponding all these ideas from our customers, from our design team, from our color team to the factory, and making sure they're executing to everyone's standards. So making sure that if this is bought by Bloomingdale's, it meets not only our design requirements, but Bloomingdale's requirements. And making sure it gets there in a timely manner. I can't stress that enough. Making sure things are on time. So, who's next?
we brought in Sarah, who's a senior designer for the company. Tina was stuck in a meeting, so Sarah is going to speak in regards to as
Hi
what the senior
everyone,
designer.
welcome. Hi. Yeah, just
It's
take
okay.
it away. Okay. I'm sorry I don't have any resources or references, but if you've seen the beautiful Lauren showroom, I also designed for a different division. We've got lots of divisions in this company, I'm sure you're aware of. And if you look behind you, you'll notice like there's some trend boards and mood boards. That's sort of the beginning of where we get started. For example, anybody want to speak up and tell me, like, maybe something on their wish list, like, what's a trend out there that you really, really have to have? Like, is there something that you want to go shopping for next week in clothing? Like, what, anybody have any, something they're looking for that's, like, really trendy out there right now?
Pastels.
There you go. And, like, the color trends and silhouette trends, whether it's color blocking, grommets, special combo treatments with collars and cuffs, fur treatments. Those are the type of things we're looking for, like what's new, what's going to motivate a customer, what's something that we can add to the garment this year from the last season. And design has to try making their way into everything else that we've talked about with the merchandising and the production. How can we make this fit our cost? How can we make it look like our signature customer that has come to us because they expect it to look just right? We can't just all of a sudden out of the blue give them spikes and like rhinestones if they're used to something that's a little quieter and softer. And with sleepwear, sometimes it's hard for you to hold sleep with spikes coming out. But there's things that we can definitely translate. I'm sure you guys do that with your class projects, and that's the biggest challenge, but it's the most fun. So at the beginning of the design development, we have to call all of those trends in and decide what's important for us and our customer, because as much as designers love to just have it all and be out there, that's an important thing too. You really have to call it down and say, is this going to work on the floor? Will it be a bestseller? Will it be a bomb? And then everybody will be crying because the salespeople will have to take phone calls like, we want money back. We want, like the boss will be saying, forget it, what happened here? It's just a mess. So you have to know how to balance the fun, the new, the trend with making it look right for your customer, whether that means pretty or punk or glam or, that sort of thing. And that's the designer's first challenge. Then getting into, well, we thought we could have this fabric, but now our brand manager is telling us it's too expensive, or the factory won't do it, or the minimums are too high. So then you have challenges of, well, what's a suitable fabric that might substitute for our initial first wish? And I don't want to come off sounding like everything is a compromise, but in today's world, you have to, unless everyone is at a couture house designing for a couture designer, when you're doing mass manufacturing, all of those things come into play, and that's happening simultaneously while we're trying to develop. Everybody else is saying, okay, the factory's ready, they want the tech designer to send the tech pack, have you designed your bodies yet? And we're still saying, okay, we're making the artwork for this, and we're working on the fabric concepts, and it's just like putting the whole recipe together and baking the cake. So once you're done, you get to sit in the showroom and see how the salespeople like
I
the...
think that's the key, Sarah. We're never done.
That's a good point,
We're still
Stephanie.
working on holiday.
And yes, as the design is developing, the next season we have a fit technician saying, okay, you better come and see the problem that we're having with last season's garment. The factory isn't producing it, or it's not all problems.
Not
It's
only
fine.
that though, but when the garments hit the sales floor, that's like the real biggie.
That's the
Because you
big
gotta
test.
watch what's happening with the garment. It could be sitting on a tee there for 3 weeks, and if something doesn't move in the first 2 weeks, you might have a bomb.
Yeah, but then there's other times where and it's out of your control. You can't say, but it was the weather. It was
Yeah.
maybe we put something out there in the middle of a heat wave. Maybe we thought that in September it was finally going to start getting chillier, and it stayed 100 degrees every day. Or maybe spring came out in January, February, and it's snowing through March and April. So sometimes it's depending on whether the consumer really wants to buy now, wear now, or if they want to buy in advance, or if they can understand all of those problems.
I think it's important because nowadays everybody's really watching what they spend because of the way the economy has been. And, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm shopping, it better pop out and say, I gotta have it. Because otherwise, I may not want to buy it. So that's another big thing. You have to make things that people are going to buy. Not just things that you like and things that, that are pretty, but you have to produce things that are going to sell.
And to Stephanie's point, I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
No, I was gonna go on. Go ahead.
No.
Because I just lost train of thought.
Oh.
That's okay. Lost it.
You guys all live in such a great generation of technology, and it's to our advantage and disadvantage in this world. We have a lot of blogs, like for example, my designer, I designed for Stan Herman, and he does a lot of business on QVC. So he goes on TV, and instantly you know whether people are calling in and buying it or not. And then afterwards, when the garments are mailed to their house, then you start to see the blogs roll in. Oh, Stan, it's great, I love it. Or, oh, Stan, what did you do? I've never expected this from you. I hate it, or I'm going to send it back. Or, so it's like good and it's bad, but you get the interaction with your customers and the feedback, which is amazing. Like, prior to this, it was everyone had to do surveys and just really do test studies and see who's our customer or what are they thinking. So that helps a lot. And again, I can't stress how important it is to really, once you are really finding your career path and in a job, pay attention to who that customer is. As much as you need to show your strengths and show the design aspects that you have to try to stay true to that brand, that signature, and take the challenges of how do I create outside of the box but stay in this branding and this signature and really give them something that will wow them.
And that's why internships are really, really important, because it gives you a chance to try out different things. You're not actually married to the internship that you're taking. You might be doing design, and you might find out in the 3 months, this is not me. I can't come up with concepts that quickly. But you might find that you're a great technical person and you're good with construction. So it's a great time to do as many internships as you possibly can to really get your feel for what you really don't want to do and what you really love. Because once you take a job, you've made a commitment. And it's kind of not that easy to get out of it. I mean, you can always leave a job, but it's hard to get them. So once you get something, you kind of want to stick with it. So that's why I really encourage you guys to take us up on internships. I don't have them all the time, but I love to have people come in and learn, because I have to stress that I think our company is the one company that really tries to make interns become employees. That's the object of the game. You're looking at one. So many people here that
I've been here for 10 years. I started as a design intern. Sorry to interrupt,
No,
Stephanie,
that's
but
great.
I started out in design. I went to school for design and production. I really wanted to get into production. Had my hand in it for a little, didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I'm more of a creative person where I wanted to be on the development side. So got into that and then kept on moving up from there. Did merchandising a lot, and then turned into product development manager and now brand manager. So, it's definitely, there's opportunities, definitely.
a lot
And
of opportunity to grow.
it's a company to grow. It's what I like about this company is I've been other places as well, but it's small enough that you can get your hands in a little bit of everything. It's not blinders on, I'm only doing this one thing. You're getting to see color. You get a little bit of production, you get technical, you get this, you get a little bit of everything. It's not just one little straight road for you. You kind of get to branch out here, which is nice.
Yeah, is that boring?
No, it's not. It's always a new fun day,
And I would have to echo what Kate is saying, is that you definitely want to do some type of internship in this industry, because you do want to figure out exactly what you like, whether it's buying, production, selling perhaps, or design. And then you do want to try to touch on every aspect of the business, because you want to learn as much as you possibly can.
And I will say that no matter what your talent is, there is a place for you somewhere, because I didn't know that my job was a job until I got called for my job. So, and then I got my job, and then I learned what my job was, and luckily I love it. But there's definitely.
Well, what's so great? There's, we really believe we're trying to make this a more creative environment each and every day. And now that Noelle has been with us for 6 months, we're starting to see other things that she can do. And she's gotten a recent opportunity to work with the new senior VP of merchant design. And she loves her because she's so creative, and she's had an opportunity to work on different projects with this senior person that everybody reports into. And it's a nice thing to be recognized, not just for the job that you do, but for the fact that you may be a creative person and you may have something else to offer to the company. And, I think that's important. It's important to work for a company that's open, that wants people to bring their creativity to the table, and that's free enough to be able to do that, so that we just don't box Noelle into color and print and fabric. she may go into real design because she's so talented and she has an eye. And, you know,
Wow.
it's a great thing, you know. Not every company is interested in people growing, but we are. We love to have young people come that are hungry, that show the initiative. There's lots of opportunity to grow here. Is Julie around? Oh, Julie!